Hi, welcome to pUDL. I'm Jo Rushworth and I'll be explaining some practical UDL tips in no more than 3 slides in 3 minutes. So today I'm going to be telling you about how to replace feedback with flipped feed in, and this links into the UDL strand that's all about allowing learners multiple and flexible ways to demonstrate their knowledge and to be motivated to learn. So at the moment we have a problem in the sector with teacher-centric assessment and feedback. What do I mean by this? I mean that generally speaking, when students do an assessment, the feedback they receive is from the teacher, whether they've asked for that feedback or not, and it's very unidirectional. With student-centric assessment and feed in, I propose that the student should be in the centre of this scenario, and the feed in can be received by a number of different parties. Number one, the student themselves should be mainly in charge of feed in, which will encourage them to develop self-efficacy skills and to know themselves what the areas where they need to improve. Who else do you think could be involved in giving feed in? What about peers, technical staff, or other people besides just lecturers, student lecturers? Staff obviously. What about student researchers and other student partners? Who else do you think could co-create feed-in? Leave me a comment, give me a tweet. Feed-in really needs to be continuous to be effective. So rather than students receiving a discrete package of feedback or feed forward from a teacher, this feed-in loop needs to be like a spiral. Think spiral curriculum. And every time the students do something, therefore they make that small improvement, which is going to lead in ultimately a more holistic view of the curriculum. So students should therefore improve their grades, their engagement will go up, their knowledge and skills will increase, and their self-efficacy will also develop. So how do we flip assessment and feed in then? So in a traditional scenario, the student will do a piece of work. The piece of work is marked by the teacher and given a grade. And then ultimately the student, if they're lucky, they get to see the marking rubric and they get to see an exemplar. So here's what you should have done. So in my idea around flipped assessment and feed in, the opposite happens. So before the student actually submits their piece of work, they get to look at an unexemplar, which is a piece of work deliberately littered with lots of little mistakes. The student gets the marking rubric and they get to pull this piece of work apart, and then they can apply what they've learned to their own draft. So they get to do a mock assignment or draft piece of work, and then they're actually in charge of using the marking rubric to go through their piece of work, give themselves some feed in, and they can also get feed in from peers and the other people mentioned on the previous slides. And then when they submit their final assignment, they've already had all of this feed in, and hopefully it's at higher quality. So if you like this video, don't forget to share and subscribe. See you next time. Bye.